But first up, welcome back, ladies, from a lovely weekend. The sun was shining.
Gorgeous weekend.
Britain was awash with good weather. What did you girls get up to?
Oh, I had a great day yesterday. I went to Soccer Aid.
Oh, that was great. Did you see that last night?
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, the atmosphere and everything was just electric.
What a dramatic end to the game as well.
It was like a proper World Cup final.
Yeah.
I mean, people were screeching, and as usual, England lost in the penalty section. I mean, we're just destined to lose at penalties, even when we're not pros.
Do you know what? And it was nail-biting, wasn't it? Because it could have gone any way. And Jamie Theakston, what a goalie.
Yeah, brilliant.
I mean, obviously not as good as he could have been because we lost.
Yeah.
But 4 magnificent saves from him.
Ben Shepherd,
What kind of fantastic footballer!
Fantastic everything.
There's nothing that guy can't do.
No.
nothing.
Brilliant dancer, by the
Is
way.
the Colleen?
And no, there's nothing he can't do.
And,
I do know.
But of course, Robbie was there. They went mental for Robbie Williams when he came
What a
out.
star-studded lineup. You know, when you see Mike Myers going up to take the penalty, and he took it really seriously, and then he's coaching Woody Harrelson, giving him these kind of, you know, like this football sign language that I don't understand. No, I don't know what it meant. I'm a woman, that's quite right. There's Woody there. But he really was the man of the match, wasn't he, in the end, because he secured a victory for the rest of the
so
world.
excited now for the World Cup. I'm so geared up. I can't wait.
I went to Paris.
Oh.
I had a great time in
Maybe.
Paris. Actually, sort of went to see the Crazy Horse because they're kind of, you know, there's some sort of 80s, slightly strippy things coming up in Flashdowns. However,
So just to explain, the Crazy Horse is an exotic gentleman's dance
do you know, it isn't. Actually, it's a brilliantly choreographed dance show where they don't wear very many clothes.
Yeah. I've seen it. Women on
Beautiful.
Catherine wheels going around with the tops off.
Anyway, but it was awkward because, you know, my partner loves museums. He doesn't like anything exotic or anything to do with dance, actually. And so he
Tell
much
me your partner would rather go to a museum than a woman going around on a spinning wheel with
I have to
breasts
be
out.
honest, he loves gardening, he loves museums, he loves things that he believes are real.
I've seen those women. Trust me, they weren't what God gave them. They didn't move. They weren't real.
No.
The boobies are not real.
and can you imagine Colleen on one of them? It was shocking.
She'd be blind. Wouldn't be able to see.
She'd knock everybody
Well,
out.
you weren't the only one heading overseas this weekend, darling. I went to another wedding. It was the same couple that got married again. Last week it was Italy. Brilliant. This weekend, Dublin for a Hindu blessing, which was amazing, really beautiful, very spiritual. And then we kind of took the spirit of the Hindu blessing and took that forward into the Irish mentality of spirits. And I did it again. I got drunk for the second week running. No hangover. I tell you, it's a new me. Carol McGiffin, when she gets back from her holidays.
Oh, you
I'm going to have a drink
the
off.
crown.
Because you know what? Without the hangovers, there's no stopping me. There's no reason for me not to do this. I dance. I make funny jokes, apparently. Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember
Talking
a lot
about
of it.
Fantasyland, my daughter went to Legoland. You know, in Windsor, and I've never been to Legoland, and I thought, oh. Anyway, she rang me, she said, Mum, this is where you should live. Because she said everything's like, there's a tiny postman, there's a tiny train and a tiny tree, and you can go in the houses and you can look inside and there's tiny beds and everything. She said, this is you. This is your world. This is your fantasy land.
And Enid Blyton world, if that's where you'd like to live.
Absolutely,
Oh.
absolutely. So I think I've got to get down there and buy a house.
Cheap as chips.
Yeah,
Build it yourself.
The only one you can afford these days, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'd love it.
Well, ladies, I'm glad we've all had a ball this weekend. Some of us in a world of realities.
Yes.
Some of us not, eh, Sherry? You and I, different planets.
Sherry
Yeah.
Land.
Yeah. She was on the Sherry, I was on the Sherry. OK, Mick Jagger's girlfriend, Lorraine Scott, has been dishing out some glamour advice in the papers today and has been quoted as saying, this is brilliant, I'd rather feel that it's glamorous to wear one's diamonds on the beach. I don't believe in hoarding these things or saving them for special occasions.
Oh.
What planet does she live on? Not even Legoland, eh? So, do we wear our finest gear every day, or do we have that mentality of saving things for best?
Do you know, it used to be, didn't it? You know, everybody used to save Sunday best, didn't they? You know, wear your clothes Sunday best, and everybody used to have a Sunday front room, you know, where if you had people for tea, that's where you went, and the carpet was always clean, no kids allowed, or you know, everything was covered. I remember my grandma's grandma's sisters, that I used to go over for tea, but we'd always go into the front room, and when we'd gone, it was shut. Do you know what I mean? And like, people had cups and saucers, don't you remember those cupboards? People used to keep their best for... Well, we don't do that now, do we? And I don't do it, I don't have clothes for best. I have clothes if I'm going somewhere posh, or I'm going, you know, like long dresses out like that, but I don't have what I call best, like best shoes, or, you know, you can't wear those today because you'll wear them out, or things like that. I just kind of wear everything, and I think it comes from that. Why do you keep cups and saucers in a cupboard? Take them out and use them. That's what I think.
Sherry, were you like that with your daughter? Like I was, when particularly my oldest daughter was growing up, I had best clothes for her. I bought her a T-shirt that was so expensive, it could only be brought out for best. And one day she wore it for school and got paint on it. And all I could think about was how much it cost. And actually, that's sort of wrong. Because it's not... She didn't ask for this really expensive T-shirt. So you're sort of, you know, guilt-tripping sort of over something. But I think, you know, even now, I've bought them each a pair of expensive shoes, and I expect them not to wear them every day.
Even now?
Even now. And I think sort of growing up, I remember a friend had what she called the front room, and I used to peep in when I used to go to her house. It was all white, the couches, the carpet, it was all covered in polythene.
Yeah.
And I used to think it was the most beautiful thing on earth.
My nan had that. It was the parlour. And I can't believe my nan raised 5 children in a 2 up, 2 down and still kept one room. I mean, there was 2 and a bit rooms downstairs and an outside loo. But that one room, nobody went in. You wouldn't dream of that now, would you? But everything was covered. And I can still smell that room and hear the silence with just the carriage clock ticking round.
It would be nice to have that best room, though. Certainly in my house, so that when people, you know, when people turn up unexpectedly, you've always got one room that's clean.
One room that's clean.
And then you can
What's the matter with you, woman?
And then you can just pretend that the rest of the house is... Oh, sorry, I didn't have time to show you around. Anyway, thanks for coming. I love that. And as for best, you know, I don't give anything for best. My best is, you know, rubbish anyway. But, oh, and shoes. Speaking of shoes, poor Kira. Because I was brought up, you see, my mum was a bit of a second-hand rose. She loved her bargains, so I got second-hand clothes. And you wore things till literally they were hanging off you and either didn't fit you or just fell apart. And I've kind of done it with Kira, where I took her for... I thought, I better get her some new school shoes, because she's in year 4 and she's had these since reception.
Torturing.
There's nothing worse than a girl with big feet. OK, hers are like that now, but that's fine.
You know what you could have done?
She's a geisha girl.
I took her and I said, could you measure
the front of the sandals off, so toes could have just gone forever then. You never had to buy spares.
I did. I'm going to do that. But I did take her and I said, could you measure her feet? She's in a size 1. I think she's a bit bigger. And the woman came back and went, she's a size 2.5. She's all right.
Just want you to take in, while we go for a break, that gasp of disappointment from the good people here today.
Oh, don't lie like you all haven't done it. Shoes are expensive.
OK,